leg as a bucket when it's hard.
It was at that moment that the police realized they had stumbled upon something far more sinister than they ever expected. A severed head, sitting eerily in a bucket, was discovered at the crime scene. On February 23, 2023, law enforcement officers arrived at the apartment of suspected killer Taylor Shea Business, a case that was about to take an even darker turn. What they uncovered exposed Taylor as an unhinged, cold-blooded psychopath.
Nothing. Hey, is this blood? Does this look like blood to you? Or am I just tripping?
Could possibly be blood.
Hey, who did that? Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department. Taylor, you have one more for your arrest. Put your hands together, try to quit. You got it.
As they began their investigation, they quickly found disturbing clues: bloody footprints leading to her car, with blood clearly visible on her hands. But it wasn't until they entered her apartment that they found the key piece of evidence they had been looking for. In plain sight, inside a bucket, was a human head gruesomely severed from its body. This horrifying discovery had initially been made by the victim's own mother, a realization that must have been equally traumatic for her. Without wasting any time, the officers apprehended Taylor.
I hate this fucking outfit.
Well, a few hours ago, police were dispatched to an address on Stony Brook that painter sells Shad Therian. Do you know Shad? And how do you know Shad?
He's my ex.
Your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
Well, they found a kind of disturbing stuff at the house there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of blood. Basically Shad's head.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
As the interrogation unfolded, it became clear how utterly cold and detached Taylor was. She showed no emotion whatsoever, even as the officers laid out the grisly details of the crime. When questioned about the severed head, her only response was a chillingly apathetic "that's up." Psychopaths often boast about their crimes for a twisted sense of pride, but this case would soon reveal just how disturbingly deep her insanity truly went.
Where's the rest of his body?
It's there, inside the house.
It is in the house?
It's inside his house.
Okay. Can you tell me what happened?
It's a good question, because I blacked out during that time.
Were you two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
Just getting there, okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys done something like this in the past?
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
Taylor recounted that on the night of the murder, she and Shad had been engaging in intimate activity. She used a dog chain to choke him. However, that night something shifted in her, and she didn't stop choking him when she usually would, pushing him to the brink of death. Taylor revealed that she had also been smoking meth that night. This detail seemed to explain, at least in part, the horrific escalation of the night.
Where's your body?
The body's there.
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You liked it? So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do with the body parts?
Oh, they're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like, yeah.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
Absolutely in the basement. I was gonna bring them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
What?
It's in the van.
What Taylor had done to Shad was far beyond what anyone could comprehend, but she had dismembered his body in a methodical and shocking manner. Not only had she choked him to death and severed his head, she had hidden the different parts of his dismembered body all over her apartment. The grotesque nature of these acts alone would haunt anyone.
How did you dismember his body then?
Knives.
With what?
Knives.
Knives? Just more than one knife? Where did you get those from?
Kitchen.
They weren't sharp?
No. It was alright. Bread knife works good.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good, yeah.
Really?
I had to use one of these, so yeah. I got lazy last night, so.
Once Shad had died, Taylor didn't stop at murder. She coldly took it further. Using a blunt bread knife, she began to saw off his limbs, and each severed piece was carelessly tossed into a black bag. The police would later find this bag containing Shad's dismembered remains stashed in the basement of the apartment. What made this even more disturbing than the brutality of the act itself was the way Taylor spoke about it. She described the gruesome details with an eerie calmness. Psychopathic killers often take pleasure in their crimes, relishing the attention and recognition it brings them. A prime example of this was Ted Bundy, who frequently spoke to the press, seemingly thrilled by the notoriety his actions garnered. This same narcissistic tendency appears to be driving Taylor's behavior. Though she insists the murder was an accident, her reactions during the interrogation tell a different story. As she recounts every chilling detail of her crime with a twisted sense of enjoyment, it becomes clear that, while she may not have premeditated the act, she certainly felt no remorse. For the next 5 minutes, Taylor coldly recounts how she cuddled with Shad's body after killing him, even detailing how she used parts of his dismembered body, including his genitals. The interview picks up again as she continues to speak with chilling detachment, describing the horrifying events of that night in blunt, emotionless terms.
You do anything particular with the head or the body? What do you do with the blood? What happened to the blood?
It's still in there, still in the tote. There's a shower in the basement. You go in the next side over and I just dumped it out into the drain. There's probably still blood there.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I drained his head. Well, like, after I covered his blood, I put it in the bucket, but then there's still blood in this bucket because it's coming out of the head. Should have took the brains out, but I didn't do that. And then I
So you cleaned his head in the shower and then dumped the bucket? Okay.
Not only is Taylor disturbingly unfazed by dismembering and beheading her former lover, but she also appears completely comfortable with the grisly act of draining and washing his head, possibly even going so far as to remove his brain. The rationale behind these actions is deeply unsettling and remains unclear, as the situation doesn't make sense. Having already discarded and hidden the rest of his body, if her intention was to conceal the crime, she would have likely disposed of the head as well. This raises the question of what deeper, more twisted motive could be at play. The detective is growing increasingly desperate to understand her reasoning.
So when he put the chain on his neck, he thought that you guys were going to have kinky sex. Do you think that's what Chad was thinking, maybe?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I was going to do the same thing. I was going in, and I did. And I went in. But then he was like, choke me, but he didn't really say it, so I'm like, he put it on his neck. I already know I'm going to choke him, and I did.
But before the chain went around his neck, were you and Chad like kissing or any foreplay or anything?
No, we were chilling at home.
You just chilling. So all of a sudden, the chain went around his neck?
Yeah.
How come? I'm just trying to get it.
He likes it.
Alright.
And I was going to walk him like a dog.
And he wanted that?
I have no idea. What I was going to do it anyway.
Okay. And you're claiming it was his idea?
No, it was his idea. It was all him.
Right, so you're on the bed, the chain goes around his neck and you start choking him. And you just realize that he was going to die or what?
I'm just like, shit. I think I went a little too far because I was blacking out while I was doing it, right? And then and then I look at him, I'm like, shit, he's already purple. I'm like, fuck, I'm like, I don't know if he's fucking, is he good? But then when I woke up, during the blackout moment, I'm like, shit. I didn't mean for all this to happen, and I'm like, I fucked up, I know I fucked up, and I'm like, shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what happened.
Not only is Taylor disturbingly unfazed by dismembering and beheading her former lover, but she also appears completely comfortable with the grisly act of draining and washing his head, possibly even going so far as to remove his brain. The rationale behind these actions is deeply unsettling and remains unclear, as the situation doesn't make sense. Having already discarded and hidden the rest of his body, if her intention was to conceal the crime, she would have likely disposed of the head as well. This raises the question of what deeper, more twisted motive could be at play. Taylor's version of events is chilling. She claims that after getting home with Shad, she immediately grabbed a chain and began choking him. She then blacked out, only to find him dead in front of her. Despite not wanting him to be dead, she never called for help. Instead, she proceeded to dismember his body, play with it, and even laughed while recounting the gruesome details to the police. These actions hardly reflect someone innocent, and the detectives share that sentiment. The case quickly went to trial, where Taylor's disturbing behavior continued to unfold. As Shad's best friend testified in court, Taylor's cold demeanor and lack of remorse further revealed just how deeply disturbed she truly is.
When I got there, I was
we were just chilling, chopping it up, like how we always do. And basically, I was like, Taylor was asking like, do you wanna hang out with Shad? She was asking me like for consent to hang out with Shad, to bring him over, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool.
Throughout the entire trial, Taylor's disturbing behavior persisted. She smiled, smirked, and even laughed as the proceedings unfolded. However, this unsettling demeanor clearly didn't sit well with the jury, as she soon discovered when the verdict was delivered.
Okay. The first verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
On July 26, 2023, Taylor Schabusiness was found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and sexual assault. As of the time this video was uploaded, she is awaiting her sentencing, facing the possibility of life in prison or even the death penalty. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more videos.